start it off with Salvon Ahmed, who's doing his best to stay in shape during this time of social distancing. Salvon, are you able to get in quality workouts these days?
Yeah, I mean, I'm able to work out with Tracy, social distancing over at, Forward Sports. It's me and him, and, he's able to get me right still. So, I'm there Monday through Saturday and, able to still get my work in, fortunately.
Yeah, it was an FSP, man. Tracy's got a good operation over there. He really takes care of you guys and gets you ready.
Absolutely. It's a guy that I've been with since I was about 15 years old. So, obviously I got a lot of trust in him, been with him through this whole draft process, high school, college, everything. So, he's got a fantastic program that, if anyone can get involved in it, for sure would recommend it.
Hey, tell me about the hands competition. I want to get right to it because Henry was telling me that you did really well down there against some top receivers. Tell me a little bit what that competition was about.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a hands competition. It was kind of who can get through it the fastest is what the object of it was. So I was able to perform pretty well. I was going against some of the top receivers in the country. You guys like Jared Judy, KJ. I'm a running back, so I'm like, hey, let's see what I'm about. But I was able to perform pretty well. It was a really fun experience by Allstate put on for us. And, we were down in Texas at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, so that was pretty cool to see. You hear a lot about how great it looks, and so it was cool to be down there.
How did you get invited to something like this?
Yeah, so I mean that's on the agent. The agent gets you involved in a bunch of different activities. So it's credit to Henry and Vince Taylor, my two agents, and over at Elite Loyalty Sports, and so they were able to get me in that. But yeah, there's a bunch of different running backs there: Cam Akers, AJ Dillon. It was cool. It was Henry and those guys were able to get me in, and I was able to make the most of opportunities.
In the NFL, a guy like you can if you can show so many skills where you can catch out of the backfield and be dangerous. That's a huge plus too. So, do you look at that as one of your strong intangibles as a running back?
Definitely. I see myself as not just a running back. I see myself as a guy that can be put on the field anywhere and be a mismatch. Obviously guys like Christian McCaffrey have shown how valuable that position is in the NFL. Just being able to do more. And so, definitely I see myself as that type of running back. And, my years at Washington, I was behind Myles Gaskin for 2 years. And so I had to learn how to get on the field in many different ways. And so, I had to learn how to catch the ball at the backfield. I had to learn to be dynamic in those ways, line up at receiver, take sweeps and do those type of things. So definitely, I'm definitely more than a running back.
You're on the doorstep of achieving a dream, Salvon. What are your thoughts as this draft approaches? You've got to be just jacked about it.
I mean, it's a crazy feeling, to actually, be in this position. Just, first and foremost, obviously, give thanks to, God, but just being in this position is surreal. And so, being up, just thinking, just so much stuff goes through my head every single day. Thinking what got me here, how I got here. What's going to continue to get me to, reaching my goals and reaching my dreams. And, after next week, this will be one that I get to, really, really mark off and be proud of. So it's a crazy feeling. Just, my family and all my friends have been there, supportive and coaches. And I think it's more than just about me. It's about, everyone who's helped me get to this position.
Yeah, that's an exciting time for you. And I love the fact that I've heard you in other interviews talk so highly about Juanita High School. I love guys that don't forget about where they came from. And have you had a chance to go back to maybe the football field and kind of reminisce a little bit? You seem like the kind of guy who would enjoy just kind of taking it all in and saying, man, it kind of all started for me here.
Yeah, I mean, I love to get back to Juanita. I love it. Like it's my home. It's my home, and I love what that school means a lot to me. Truly, and it means a lot to me. All the support that I got, and how we just went about things. I go back there all the time. I went back there in the summertime during a fall camp when I was at Washington. While we had a little bit of time, and I went and talked to the guys, and just got to be around them again. I love Juanita. I love to get back there whenever I can. They're redoing the school. I wish they could have redid it when I was there, but they're redoing the school, and so it looks awesome, and I can't wait to see it when it's all done. But definitely, I'm gonna be a guy that's always gonna be coming back to Juanita whenever I can. I'll always be, if I'm here, I'm always gonna be at the football games and go to the basketball games. A little bit of Lake Washington, Juanita rivalries. I'll be at all those. So. I love Juanita, all the teachers, all the coaches, everyone means a lot to me at that school.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's good to hear. How about the scouts and analysts? They make a living this time of year picking apart talent. How hard is it to block out the noise? Because I'm sure you've heard a lot of good and maybe some bad. How do you filter that?
I think you just feel like me personally. I don't have a Twitter, and so that's one way I just keep the negative stuff out of my life because I've learned throughout this whole process of playing football that same people that build you up are the same people that will take you down, and it's just a part of the job. They got to report on what's out there. So I don't have my Twitter just because I got enough social media, so it's not gonna hurt me to not have one app. I have a Twitter, but I don't have the app.
Yeah.
So I think that's one way to just keep negativity out of my life and just kind of focus on what I want to see what I want to see. It's easy to scroll through Twitter and you see something, you're like, oh, damn, that kind of sucks, but it's all right. So that's one way I kind of focus on it and just kind of focus on now and know that there's a plan for everything and, just stay the course.
Yeah, that's a healthy approach, man. That's a healthy approach, especially going forward in the NFL. You ran a 4.640 at the combine, 4.3 a year ago. So what can you do? And I'm sure Tracy's got you working like this, but what can you do to increase your speed before training camp?
Yeah, I think a lot of it, is just overtraining. I wanted the moment so bad, and a lot of it comes down to just making sure your body's right. I think it was just overtraining. Body was fatigued at the time, and I wasn't obviously want to hit better numbers, but I'm still proud of myself. Still went out there and did that. Knowing that hey, things sometimes just don't go your way. And I think like I said, you put on my film and you watch it, I don't think there's any questions of how explosive and how fast I am. So, as long as it shows up on the football field, it's all good.
Yeah. Well, it does, man. And while we're on that subject, I was going to ask you a little later. I'll hit you right now. I love watching you play throughout your college career. Do you have a favorite run or a favorite play that stands out to you?
I mean, definitely versus USC. That's my biggest one. I think it was a moment for me where it showed a lot of toughness mentally because I just came back from I had an injury versus I missed the BYU game, and so it was my first game back. I remember we got to the goal line and I had fumbled the ball and it's kind of like, dang, I gotta bounce back from that. It's all right, we're gonna bounce back. A couple drives later, we're backed up and we got 89 yards to go and I'm able to, break a loose one. And that was my favorite run by far. Not just because of the run, but because of what happened before it.
Yeah.
Because, I know I had to bounce back. And I know I had to – I think I had to mature as a football player. That was a big time for me to mature as a football player. I'm the starting running back. I made a mistake. I got to bounce back. And so that's definitely one that I'll never forget. And it's 89 yards. You hear the crowd. And I know what's going through my head, hey, just don't get caught. This could be special. Just don't get caught.
When you say don't get caught, I see a lot of NFL backs looking up at the scoreboard while they're running down to see if anybody's chasing them. Do you ever do that as a running back? Have you done that in the past where you look up and use the scoreboard?
I think in that one, once I got to like the 5, I made sure that I was in the clear. I think I looked up, but I'm pretty confident in myself and knowing that, hey, once I'm out, I'm not pretty sure you're gonna catch me. But that time, I think when I got to about the 5, I think I looked up just to make sure I was in the clear. But most of the times, if I break out, I'm pretty confident in myself.
Yeah, I'll say, man. And that's where it goes back to your 40 times. Like, put the tape on, man. Tape, as they say, tape don't lie. And
yeah, exactly.
You busted out of there like that. No one caught you, so you must be pretty fast.
There we go.
To get to where you are today took discipline, which it takes a strong mind. But with so much talking about brain training in sports, I know you do a lot of physical work, but do you have a mental coach, or do you believe in that strong mental approach to the game?
Definitely. I think you got to visualize. You got to see it to believe it. And so, definitely I'd always write my goals down and just put them places, put them in the kitchen, put them on the fridge, somewhere I know I'm going to be at multiple times a day. Put it in the bathroom, put down your goals, every single week of what you want to do, what you want to see. And so, definitely those are things Coach Pete told us. Those things Coach Pete always instilled in us. And that's why I'll forever appreciate him as a coach, because it was always more than just football. It was just, how can you be a better person? And that's going to translate to being a better football player. He had a saying, doing the little things is how you do all things. So doing the little thing is writing your goals. That's it's going to how you do all things. It's going to help you visualize. It's going to help you see it before it's even there. So I think football is definitely, I think it's so mental. people talk. I think football is everyone's tough. Everyone's going to get hit. Everyone's can, you got to be physically tough to do that. But I think it comes down to things like, okay, you fumbled the ball at the goal line. What are you going to do to bounce back? Are you mentally tough? Have you visualized the game enough to know that that's not the ending for you? So I think it comes down to things like that.
Yeah. What about guys like Myles Gaskin, some other guys that you've played with in the past? Have you had a chance to pick their brains or maybe see what you can expect when you get to the next level?
I talk to Myles every day. That's like my big brother, my best friend. But you think, what he's told me is that it's real now. College is obviously is real. Everything's always real, but this is your job. So you got to treat it like it's your job. You got nothing else to do but train for your job. You're going out there and just put it how it is. You're going out there trying to take someone's job. And so, at the end of the day, we're all grown men. So you just got to really be ready for that. Just keep doing what you're doing. What you've done got you to this point. So don't think it. Obviously, you got to work harder. You obviously just want to work. You always want to elevate with what you're doing. But don't think that you're not ready or anything like that, because what you've done has got you to where you're at right now.
Well, I mean, you got all the tools, man. There's a handful of guys, smart guys, that think you're underrated and that you're going to surprise some people because they may not have you in, say, their top 5 backs, but that's not to say you don't belong there. Does having a chip on your shoulder or anything like that help you out?
Yeah, definitely. I have a chip on my shoulder. I think I've been had the chip on my shoulder for a very long time, just because I got so much to prove, not only to other people, but I got a lot to prove to myself. I think anyone that knows me knows that I hold myself to a very high standard, and so I always want to be great at whatever I do. At the end of the day, I'm a football player. I'm a football player. I'm a playmaker, and so I want to go out there and do those things. I want to make those plays. I want to be that guy that they can count on. So, I hold myself to a very high standard, and that chip on my shoulder definitely does work because, you hear it all the time. Oh, he's undersized. He started for 1 year, but I think when you look at me and you talk about an underrated back, I had 188 carries and I was able to still get, over 1,000 yards. And I think a lot of these other backs had 200 plus carries and 250 carries and things like that. So, I think I see myself as a guy. I'm gonna make the most of my opportunities.
Yeah, I know you will. I got 2 more questions for you, but have you taken advantage of any extra time to work on your music?
Yeah, definitely. I was at the studio about like last week when my homies Jamal, we were just making music and spending that time, do my workouts in the morning, watch some film, and I got hours left of the day, obviously, because we can't go do nothing. So I'll go to the studio and we'll make some music.
Yeah. Is there going to be a follow-up to a Safe House Summer?
Yeah, definitely. We're going to get that going. I'm trying to focus on football right now, but it definitely at some point there will be a follow-up for sure.
I've talked to a lot of people, man, that know you, and they see you're really good, dude. Like they have nothing but high praise for your skills and your talent.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, I love music, and I love what music can do for you. And I think you can connect to it on any way that you hear it. And so, I try to be real with my music. Never talk about anything that's not me. And so, I appreciate that.
So outside of music and football, what other interests do you have that maybe fans don't know about?
And I like to cook, but I'm not a very good cook. But I like to do it. I like to try different things. But yeah, I like to do those kind of things.
Yeah, I talked to Hunter Bryant. He likes to cook too. Like, do you guys? He's got steak and mashed potatoes as his favorite meal. Do you have a favorite meal you like to prepare?
I mean, I keep it real basic. I mean, my chicken and rice. But I mean, it's good chicken. It's good chicken, but it's real basic. But yeah, that's my go-to. Maybe some salmon, some ground turkey, tacos, or anything like that.
Well, you sound like you're eating right. Is it because so much of this training is about diet? So,
Absolutely.
I mean, do you have a cheat day? Do you allow yourself a chance to eat something that you shouldn't be eating?
On Wednesdays, I'll eat some soul food. Me and Tracy go get some soul food on Wednesdays. But yeah, throughout the week, I stay true to my diet. No salt, no sugar. Waters and eating at the right times of the day. Still taking all my protein shakes and things like that. So I want my body to be as ready as possible. When that time comes, whenever it is. Obviously with all this quarantine and everything going on, but I want my body to be ready. And so, so I'm training 6 days a week and eating right.
Do you have a favorite NFL team or player?
Not a favorite team. I mean, I'll go anywhere right now. You know what I'm saying? So
But as a kid, did you follow a team? Like, was it when you were a young guy playing Pee Wee football? Did you have a favorite team then?
yeah, I mean, I think I have favorite players. I have favorite players. Like, I love LaDainian Tomlinson growing up. That was my guy. And so, I watched him a lot growing up. And Sean Alexander, I remember he was on Madden '07, I believe it was. But yeah, those two guys, I watched a lot. So I wouldn't say, I ever had a favorite team, but I have favorite players.
Yeah.
But guys that I like to watch right now, like guys like Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey. Those guys they're just I see myself in them, being more than just a running back.
Hey, where are you going to be on draft day?
With my mom, just with
Yeah.
my mom hanging out. And so, it'd be, real small, but it'll be special.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Salvon. I appreciate it, man. And we'll be watching, man. Good luck.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Huskies tight end Hunter Bryant benched 225 pounds 23 times at the NFL Combine, second most among tight ends. Pretty impressive. He joined us now. And first of all, Hunter, how much did you train to get your strength up for that Combine?
Yeah, definitely. So at FSP, that's where I did my combine prep, my combine training at. That's one of the drills we know that we're going in, like, having to be prepared for. And so we spent, like, a good amount of time on it, just trying to get our strength up and muscle endurance up so that we can rep it out as many times as possible. And I was happy with my number 23. Like, I was happy with it. So
yeah, you should be, man. You should be. That's a lot of guys. I'm surprised that guys aren't stronger when they go into that combine, but I would see a guy like you of your size. I would guess that 20 would be your absolute minimum.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. Yeah. So I've always been pretty strong, I feel like, in my eyes. And so I went with a goal of 25. I was trying to hit 25, but I'm still happy with 23.
Yeah, you should be. But I'm just out of my curiosity. What was the record or this year for tight ends? What was the highest?
The most was 25.
Oh, okay.
So
25.
the guy in front of me, he got 25. Yeah.
Yeah. So you were right there. So this training to get ready for the NFL, get ready for the draft, get ready to show yourself, it's almost an all-day thing or a 24/7 thing, isn't it, for you guys?
No, definitely. Like, it's our job, I feel like. And we're trying to be professional athletes, and that's our goal. And so our training is just our first step of really – or taking that next step after college. Like, it's an all-day thing.
How about as far as – I know that guys I've talked to in the past, their diet, they can't stand the diet part of it, the nutrition. How tough is it to be disciplined in that area?
No, I feel like it's definitely hard in the first 2 to 3 weeks that you do it. But I feel like once your body gets accustomed to it, it starts becoming a habit for you. It becomes a lot easier. And so, yeah, the start of the whole training process was hard for me, but I think I got used to it.
Yeah. Well, you have to. I mean, it shows commitment on your part, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let me ask you this about we've seen a lot of tight ends, receivers come out of college, fail to make it in the NFL because they don't run good routes. How essential is it to be a good route runner as a tight end?
I think it's extremely essential. And all route running is trying to create separation from the defender that's guarding you. And so if you can't create separation, you're never going to be open and never going to be able to get the ball. So I think to be able to run a good route and create good separation, and that's pivotal, whether you're a tight end or a receiver. And so I think, yeah, like, coming into the NFL with that mindset, like, I have to be a good route runner and I have to do these things well so I can exceed. It's kind of like good knowing what I have to be good at, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is it about earning a quarterback's trust too when, because he knows you're going to be at a certain spot?
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the time it's like your connection with the quarterback. Like, that's what kind of guides a football team and, like, who gets the balls the most. Because if a quarterback sees, like, a 50-50 ball, like, he sees you one-on-one with your man down the field, but he doesn't have faith that you're going to go and get the ball that he throws to you, then he might not throw the ball. Because if it's a pick, I mean, everybody looks at him. It's like, oh, it's a bad ball. You shouldn't have made that read. You should go through your progression. But, like, if he has faith in you and trust in you, then he'll be able to put that ball up more and give you a chance to make the play. So I think that connection is huge.
Yeah, I would imagine I mean, you developed that with your quarterbacks in college for sure. But, we talk about the scouts and the analysts. They make a living breaking down talent this time of year. Have you heard anything about you that has stuck in your mind for motivation? Or do you try to block out the noise?
Yeah, personally, I try to stay away from all that because everybody's going to have their own opinion, whether it be good or bad. I don't think it has a lot of effect on what I'm going to do with myself. And so whatever I hear from the outside, whether it be good or bad, I just kind of block it out and do my own thing. and kind of just try to focus on myself and try to find things in myself that I could improve on, and just keep going like that moving forward.
On that note, have you talked to former, because the Huskies are so strong with tight ends in the NFL and a great tradition of it. Have you had a chance to talk to a Drew Sample, a Disley, like some of these guys that have made it at the next level and get some tips from them?
Yeah, so I've talked to them. I've talked to T-Rat or Taylor Rat, just other guys that have been through, and really just trying to get or pick their brains. Like before the combine is when I talked to them a lot, just trying to figure out what it was going to be like, what I should go and expecting. And then after, I've just been trying to pick their brains about how they went about their first year, like their rookie year, and what they did to help them excel and what I should be looking out for. And so having like them as like my friends and my family from playing football back at UW, I think it's huge. Just having that connection in the NFL already, so I know what I'm going to be expecting moving forward.
You had an All-American season in 2019. How motivated were you to perform well after a couple seasons where you fought off injuries?
Nah, I mean, this season was huge for me. Yeah. Just mentally. I was looking forward to it really since, like, as soon as the Rose Bowl ended, I was looking at this season. And I was just trying to come out and play in every game, not miss any games, because, I just didn't want to be off the field anymore after my first injury. And so, just being able to stay on the field this year and just play the game I love, it was huge. It's a blessing.
Man, you played so well, too, man. You didn't just get back on the field. You kicked some serious butt out there. Like, what was the key for such a strong finish there at UW?
Really, I think it was just focus and preparation. I think as a team, we didn't come out and do what we wanted to do at the start of the year. But I think towards the end, we just all got together and got really detailed in what we did and started making mental mistakes. Because in all the games, we beat ourselves. We didn't really get beat. We just beat ourselves by just careless mistakes, whether it be in our own or backed up on offense or in the red zone on defense. Like we just make careless mistakes. So I think as you saw, as we cleaned it up down the road, we got just a lot better and tighter as a team.
Do you have a favorite NFL team growing up? Did you have a favorite team or a favorite player?
My favorite team was the Cowboys. I don't know why. I loved Des Bryant too growing up. I love watching him play. The Cowboys was my team.
Yeah. Boy, that'll be something else when you at some point you're going to face them unless you're on that team.
No, yes, sir. No, I'm excited. I don't know. I can't wait to play in the NFL.
Yeah.
It's been a lifelong dream, and now it's finally coming up, and I couldn't be more excited.
When did it become a realistic dream for you, do you think?
Honestly, it's been my only really goal or passion since I was 5. As soon as I picked up a football, my first game actually, I touched the ball 4 times and I scored all 4 times. And so as soon as I did that, I was like, yo, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to work to be at. And I remember as a kid, I would always write about in elementary school, going to the NFL, I want to play football. This is what I'm going to do in my life. And then, just put in the work. And I always knew that this was the plan.
Have you heard speculation about where Hunter Bryant's going to go in the draft?
No, I've heard a lot of speculation. And, everyone's always trying to talk, or texting me different screenshots of what they see. And so really at this point, I'm just shutting everything out, just waiting for my time. And I know God has a plan, and his plan is perfect, and his time is perfect. And so I know wherever I'm going to go is where I'm meant to be.
Have any of those screenshots said Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, actually a couple have, definitely before. And so a couple of my childhood friends who are Cowboy fans, also, they would always be sending me those and bro, it'd be so dope if you was a Cowboy. And I'm like, yeah, whatever happens is going to happen. And
yeah. So, yeah, that'd be that'd be a cool thing for you. But I know you play for any team for sure.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Tell me something fans may not know about you, or something you enjoy doing outside of football and working out.
Outside of football, I love to cook because I love eating, and so I love cooking food, just big meals. I like to. Really, that's it. If I'm not playing football, I'm really cooking or just chilling.
What's your favorite meal to cook?
I love steak and mashed potatoes. Just because that's a good, hearty meal, fills me up, tastes good.
So if someone had to say, all right, man, you got to make a dinner for 6 people, that's going to be your go-to dinner. That's the one you have the most confidence in that's going to turn out well?
Oh, yeah, steak and mashed potatoes for sure.
That's cool, man. Well, listen, I think I covered everything. How do you like now that you're at another level, you're dealing with agents and publicists, media, probably a lot more. How do you like this whole thing? Is it a little bit overwhelming at times?
It's definitely new, just dealing with all these people, like kind of myself and kind of handling everything myself. But I mean, I'm liking it a lot. I like that I can focus everything on football, or everything's football related. And I don't have to go back and forth from school to practice to meetings. And it's just all just central, I guess. But now, like the agent relationship, that's cool. Like I love my agent. Me and him have a really good, cool relationship. And he's basically like an older brother, which is kind of dope. But now this whole thing, I'm loving it so far.
Good. Well, you seem a lot more relaxed. You know, we listen to your sound bites during the season with the Huskies, and it's like, and you're all business because, you know, you probably were a little guarded about what you had to say, but you seem much more relaxed now. Do you feel more comfortable doing all these interviews?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been doing a lot more, which is probably got a lot to do with it too. But I feel like I don't have to guard what I'm saying as much. Like that might slip up, which is kind of nice. But
yeah, I can tell, man. I can tell. You sound good. Sound more comfortable for sure. All right, thanks, Hunter, man. Good luck with everything.
Yes, sir. Thank you. It was nice talking to you.